Yep, that's right, folks. No close-up intro to the camera. We're starting right off in the corner because above me, I'm joined by YoshnJa from Tactics League, and I do have a slightly different setup here. So I'm checking the audio, making sure everything sounds good. Am I nice and loud, Yosh?
Yes, you are. Coming in nice and clear.
Oh, you are too. Perfect. Okay, let me turn you down a little bit. I'm going to turn me down ever so slightly. I am the host after all. And as host, I am going to introduce our topic for tonight. First, thank you for joining us here on Tactics Live Tournament. If you don't know, we are all about Tactics multiplayer here for our favorite strategy, RPG, Final Fantasy Tactics, War of the Lions. Our guest, YoshnJa, is the moderator of Tactics League, a Discord community where we get together and we play War of the Lions multiplayer. So if that blows your mind right off the bat, definitely check out the links in description so you can get caught up to where we are. Tonight we're talking about a pre-made roster. See, normally when you go play PvP, you got to come up with a roster all on your own, and the pre-mades skip that. They're already crafted for you, and they kind of are in their own meta. So I have rambled on far too long already. YoshnJa, please tell us a little bit more about pre-mades while I load up the game, and we'll get right into it.
Sure thing. Hello, everybody. Thank you guys for joining the stream. Before I get into anything, I just want to say hello real quick. The generic pre-made format in the roster is unique in its own way because it's designed as an introductory to Tactics PvP. How it is designed is there are some builds, or they're all like pre-designed builds. They're catered between the three main roles that you'll see in other video games, primarily in the sense of damage, tank, and support roles. And those builds are designed, and their damage stats and stuff are catered specifically to that niche or the role that they're designed for. So what you'll be seeing is a select bit of damage units, a select bit of tank, and a select bit of support units between Mikey and I as we get ready to duke it out for PvP. But one cool thing about this is that if you are interested in trying out Tactics multiplayer, but hadn't had the time to really look into all the patch changes, which is a lot, or if you're interested in wanting to check out the starter format, which is the Tactics League Premier competitive format, but still want to kind of just take it easy, the generic pre-mades is definitely the format to check out first. It is included with the save file, which is everything is bundled all in one. The PvP patch mod and the save data is all included in one download. So once you do get that, you have everything right then and there. And basically all you gotta do is patch up your UMD backup, load up the save, and voila, you can get straight into some Tactics PvP.
I mean, I was going to say the next thing to do is find a friend to battle it out with, but you can do that right there on Tactics League as well. It's like the one-stop shop for everything War of the Lions multiplayer. So, hey, we got someone in the chat. Snowface, how to play multiplayer, which platform? We are playing, I'm playing on PC. You can play on mobile. The PSP emulator we're using, PPSSPP, works on virtually every platform. So, mobile, Android, I believe iOS.
It's trickier on iOS if you can't get it working. Yes, it is tricky because of the restrictions of the App Store and stuff like that, but you can do it on iOS too.
Thank you, Yosh. There you have it. And we also use a VPN called ZEROTIER. So that is like the way that it tricks the emulator into thinking that, yes, there's another PSP right there, but it's actually across the world. So that is super compatible with everything. Super easy to get set up. You just got to back up your UMD or have a copy of your backed up UMD, apply the PvP mod as a patch file. So there's a really easy way to just take your backed up UMD, take the PvP mod, combine them in a program, boop, there you go. And then you're all set. So just grab the save file from Tactics League. You can just jump into the save file that I loaded real quick, which is this guy right here. G Ramza, which is Gangster Ramza, as I like to call him, but it's actually generic Ramza. So It's all the generics. I saved it for some reason, but
Hey,
you load that up, you get your friend, and boom. Speaking of which, why don't we just jump in real quick, Yosh, and fight a quick battle, shall we?
Sure, absolutely. Let me know when you're good. Or
I
hosting,
am
rather.
hosting. Oh, I think I might have a network error. Let me restart my emulator real quick.
Okay, no problem. I'm going to do the same as well.
I love this like enthusiastic, like, yeah, it's super easy, and then the first thing we do is like run into a hey, you messed with your network settings, restart the emulator, which I recommend always.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. But usually it's once you have ZEROTIER up and running and you have the network configuration set up for whoever's hosting, whoever's joining, it's pretty reliable and pretty quick. So hopefully we'll be thinking that in a second.
Quick
I want
shout out
to Ankh real quick.
to Ankh, yeah, hey,
Yeah.
good to see you. And Orly Fools. I have a hacked PSP. Am I supposed to play on that? Well, you can use the hacked PSP to back up your UMD to your laptop or your PC, some kind of device that will take that kind of file, and then you can use that file, that ISO, to patch it with the PvP mod, and then you're off to the races at that point. All right, so let's try again. Hosting now,
And
network initialized.
there you go.
Easy peasy.
And while we're connecting, I just want to kind of emphasize a little bit more what Aurelie was mentioning. You can play the mod on a custom firmware PSP. One issue that you'll run into though usually is that because you're not able to run a VPN on the PSP because it's not, it's older technology, of course. You won't be able to connect online as easy. I think there's some other ways to go about it, but that's a little outside the scope of how we have stuff set up. But I can confirm for sure that you can definitely run the mod on a PSP to at least like enjoy some of the single player, or even if you have multiple PSPs, you can play, locally with a friend.
So Yosh, we didn't really agree on how we're going to split up the troops, so we can give like a pretty comprehensive demonstration of the characters available to everyone.
Okay.
Do you want to skip the uniques for this first go?
That's fine.
Okay.
Yep.
Because everyone kind of knows who Beowulf, Balthier, Cloud, Delita, and Gangster Ramza are. But we don't really know who Shadow, Sorcerer, Warden, Zen. So can you real quick remind me which guys are the DPS, which guys are the tanks, and which guys are the support?
Sure. Yep, sure can. So if we start with Shadow, was the first generic build.
I'm guessing he's DPS.
Dealers. Yes, he is definitely a DPS, or damage dealer. So it goes from Shadow all the way to Armiger.
Okay.
Yeah, it was here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Armiger the Squire.
Dealers. Yep, you should have 10 damage dealers that you can select, and then from Armiger, from Paladin, it goes from Paladin to Spectre,
Bouncer,
as tank,
Sentinel,
tank units.
and Spectre. Okay.
Yep.
So we got 5 tanks.
And then we have from Cleric all the way to Time Walker as support units.
Very cool. Okay. So there's no real like format that we need to follow. Like I could take 5 tanks, I could take 5 support.
Yes, you can. Okay. You can if you want. There's a little bit of, this is one of those parts where, especially since we're playing casually, you could kind of agree with your opponent or make a decision between you and your opponent about like how you want to go about it. You could do like a 2-2-1 format. You could do a draft. Yep. You could do like a roll limit, if you will, like a 2-2-1 or like 2-1-2, something like that. So I mean, there's a couple of little variations if you want to go about it, but at its core, the builds are designed to have like damage control. So like the damage deals are specifically made to deal damage. The tanks are not really meant to deal damage, but they're rather to like debuff or like, if you will, aggro your opponent, be a nuisance and be able to sustain damage. And of course, support is there to like heal, buff up, and maybe do a little bit of nuisance stuff too.
Yeah. I get that vibe just by looking at their builds. So definitely interesting. So how do you want to do this? How do you want to split up the teams, as it were?
Let's let's do a 2 damage, 1 tank, 2 support. Let's try that one. See how that goes.
Okay. I will let
2
you
damage.
pick. I'll let you pick 1 damage. I tell you what. You pick
Okay.
2 characters. I'll pick 2 characters. You pick 2 characters. I'll pick 2. You pick 1. I pick 1. And then that way we won't have any overlap, and we'll get a nice spread. And it doesn't matter which role you pick. We'll just go 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Yep, that works for me.
Cool.
All right, let me clear my current roster real quick. So I'm gonna go in. So you want to do 2 damage, 1 tank, 2 support, right? Just
That's
wanna
correct.
Make sure. All right, cool. All right, so I'm gonna start off with Warden and let's see, Warden and Paravir.
Paravir is a tank.
She is a damage dealer.
Paravir. Okay, very good.
Yep.
All right. I am going to pick Hunter and Lancer. So Lancer is a jumping thief with equipped polearms, and Hunter is a fundaments archer. So he looks like he's going to be long range, just gathering focus power.
Oh yeah, sure. Okay, and I'm gonna move over to the tank real quick, so that's the next in line. I'm gonna go ahead and go with. I'm gonna go with Spectre, actually.
Interesting.
Yep.
A darkness mystic arts, darkness mystic.
Yes, sir.
So he is undead.
Also
looks
undead.
like.
Yep. Yes. He's actually. He could be potentially very hard to kill. So it might be one of those units that you want to deprioritize, but also he's very much a nuisance.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you want, grab your tank real quick.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't feel bound by the order of your roles. Like, if you want to put your support down first, that's cool too.
Yeah. Oh, I already got who I want to get in mind.
All right. Well, I'm gonna place.
I'm prepared.
I'm gonna place one of my supports then, and I'm gonna go apothecary.
Okay.
I get 2, yeah.
Yes, correct.
I'm gonna put my second support as Time Walker.
All right. Sounds good. So I'm going to go with Cleric as my support. She's a very much a coveted white mage, and see, as secondary support, let's go with Distractor. She's a dancer that has throw items in the bag bar and also can potentially do some debuffing application as well as damage.
Very sturdy.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
All
and
right.
finally, my last placement, my tank, I'm going Sentinel.
Okay.
And she has jump and Eido.
She does, and she also has access to Kiyomori, if I'm not mistaken. So very important.
Oh, that should be
buff
very
for protect the
nice.
shell. Yep.
I love it. All right, good luck, have fun.
Go look, have fun.
Yeah, so, like, if you can imagine, you in the audience had just downloaded this and this mod, and you told your best friend about it. You're like, dude, you gotta download this mod, or hey, however girls talk to one another, they don't say dude. Maybe they do.
Dude.
Yo, dude, download this PvP mod, and you're like, well, I want to make a roster, and I want to customize everything, but things are different, and like all this stuff, all the equipment is different and new, and it feels like I really have to study a lot to get into it. Premades, just load up the first save file, homie, or homegirl, and like, let's just jump in. Just pick 5 guys. It doesn't matter who. It's all balanced and fair, and it'll get us like at least we'll get playing. So that's what Premades really, at like the core of it, is all about. And sometimes I like in the tournament I get the absolute snot beaten out of me, and I just have to go, blank chalkboard, like rubbing everything like you don't know anything anymore. And so in those times it feels so much better to just get a game of Premades in, restore your confidence, and try again. The Premade builds aren't too bad. Like, they're not optimized, I would say, but
Yeah, they're mostly
they're
some of
pretty fun to play
crazy
with.
stuff. Yeah, they're mostly like some of the like quirky builds that you probably would have imagined, especially if you played Tactics before. Um, a lot of these builds are some of those builds you would have probably thought about like within your first or second playthrough. Just like kind of like funny, quirky builds that aren't necessarily optimal, if you will. They're not really designed to be necessarily fully optimal because they're just supposed to set up a layer of like introduction to getting in. Like all the builds don't have all of the abilities unlocked for their job as well. That's also another limit. So you have like a couple abilities here and there to a little bit to emphasize more so the build itself, but they're not designed to just have everything there for you. So it's just kind of a little more streamlined. You will see like a couple of the new abilities that are introduced with the PvP patch as well. So which is I guess it's like an easier way to kind of get acclimated in the long run.
I think it like totally agree on all points. Like getting acclimated with the PvP format, I think is the most important part because most players of War of the Lions are coming at this from the single player story, and it's like just whatever the random battles give you, like whatever Mandalia Plains the worst they have to offer, right? But when you're playing against another person, they're like actively thinking about their next moves or several moves ahead. You don't really know like what the behavior is going to be like versus the AI. So
definitely.
Yeah, it's always a like it gets that heart pounding. It's cool.
Yeah, I mean it's a totally different experience to going against like the AI and then going against another player. I mean, especially when it comes to like experienced or like our veteran players in the server, they're checking the turn order, they're checking CT of living and dead units, they're checking like where things. I mean, like these are things that the AI you normally won't see them do, of course, because they're they're limited to how they function. But when you're going against another living, breathing human, the whole like strategy spectrum just opens up.
Some of us are breathing. Sometimes I forget to breathe.
Hopefully so. So I'm gonna use one of the new PvP patch exclusive abilities. It's called Barrier. Essentially, it's a larger version of Kiyomori from the original game. It applies protective shell to nearby allies only. And this is gonna allow me to soak up more damage. And hopefully, so that Mikey doesn't beat me down so quickly.
Not as quickly, but the beatdown is coming. You are correct. Oh, I kind of doubled up on that Kiyomori. So, oh well.
No worries.
But I could use a little YoshnJa.
Good.
But first, I need to focus. I'm all about this.
Speak of focus. You get more out of your focus now. You get speed and magic in addition to power.
And the PA, yeah. Yep. It's like Scream Light.
Mm-hmm. Right, hopefully this lands. I'm trying to give faith to my warden. She's a ice-based caster. Oh, that sucks. That failed. That's okay though. I'm trying to buffer up so she can do more damage.
That was like 89%, yeah.
I think it was a little less. I think it was in the 60s, like high 60s, but unfortunate. But it's all right.
Yeah, Mystic Arts is a great sidebar for tanks or like taking character. It's like sometimes with like a knight or a dragoon, you end up going up against other tanks. Like you're not going to make a meaningful impact damage wise against them unless you spec that way and you're a bruiser and less of a tank. So like having something like Mystic Arts to do something disruptive that gets past all that mitigation is pretty useful. Now granted, some tanks are gonna be like, I'm trying to mitigate against the debuffs, right? Like a good tank is gonna have ribbon or what have you. What is this now?
Oh, for sure. It's a little shocking.
Shocking.
And just turn 2 ZEROTIER.
I do appreciate that. It's a little heavy-handed. Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay. I need that.
And just like, here's a little like random tidbit. That was against no shell. That was versus no shell.
That is a good point. Yeah.
Yep.
I really need to work on that.
That's kind of the well. Also, just to highlight, that's kind of the aspect of the pre-made format. It is. I try to do my best to implement damage control, so you could potentially get higher damage, but it takes a lot more, and the builds are designed to deal X amount of damage most of the time. So that way, like, you can't necessarily just run somebody over per se. So, there's a little bit of fun to it, and hopefully it doesn't turn to one of those like one-shotting situations, but it is designed to have like X amount of damage, so that way both players can enjoy the fight without it necessarily turning into like a turn one massacre.
You brought up a really one of my favorite points of one of the advantages I think of the pre-made's format is it's self-contained. So
Yes.
if you've been part of the channel, part of this community, the initial struggle to getting PvP off the ground was you can't just load up your save files, duke it out, and expect it to be fair. Like, you can't play that competitively. A friendly match, yeah. But, man, like, I hope you're good friends, because, if one of you isn't playing the game longer and ground out a Dark Knight and the other one hasn't,
Yeah,
you're not going to have a good time.
it's definitely getting lopsided very quickly.
Yeah, so, even in the starter format, with all the balancing and changes and tweaks and just like thoughtful additions made to the mod. Thank you, YoshnJa. Bless YoshnJa.
So sweet.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.
thanks to all of that, we can actually now play. But even then, like, you can really exploit like some of the
there's
characters.
always some room for some exploit. There's always room for some exploitations, no matter how hard you try to address certain areas. Yeah.
Indeed. So, I like how you didn't give him the full aim package. That's great.
Mm-hmm. So was I think it's Take Aim, Sonic, and Beso? Yes?
That's right.
Perfect.
So yeah, what's great about the pre-mades is because it's self-contained, the balancing becomes much easier to address.
Mm-hmm.
Every pre-made game I've played lately has been kind of a nail biter. Like, I've never felt like there's been a runaway victory or like things snowball out of control. And I've tried like quirky builds where it's like 3 tanks, and 2 DPS, or like 4 DPS and a support. And it's still like felt good. Like the characters, like I have one character that's carrying the team and the other are there just to stay alive, which, happens for better or worse in starter. And this is not to like, this isn't a starter is a terrible format. Oh my god, look at that damage. 40. Did you break something? No? It's the wind sphere.
It's a wind. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, your wind against a Geomancer. Which
And
Geomancers
you have
an eight half elements.
Mm-hmm. In addition, you have Shell.
That too, yes. Well, I guess in this case it'll be Protect if you're going for the attack. But if you're going for the Iato, then yeah, it'll be against Shell at that point. Yeah, I do have some mitigation kind of rolling in because of being a Geomancer. All the generic jobs have innate passives, which I know a lot of them didn't in the original game. So every job has something. some type of benefit.
Oh, man.
Just being on that primary.
That's such a nice like quality of life upgrade. It's like it's something that should have already been in the game. Like, granted, the story isn't so difficult. It's like, yeah, Geomancers really needed that half elemental. Oh my god, that would have saved me in so many fights. No, it's not like that. But I mean, well, so for PvP, it's making them more asymmetrical, which is great. Like, you want that. There it is. You want characters to like stand out and be unique and have a like strength that will encourage you to want to pick them. I mean, I want that.
We all want that.
We all want that, Mikey.
Everybody wants that.
Ooh. I want this.
Oh no. Oh god, no.
Oh dear. I want
please
you.
Please okay.
Oh.
I was going to say please don't. For those who haven't seen Mikey play, Mikey is notorious for using the Torrent Geomancy the frog that lives in crap. He almost got a 3-for-1 there. That would have been very, very disheartening.
That's tragic. Yeah, I mean, it's pre-made, so you can still come back.
Yes, oh, definitely. It just like would have really sucked.
Agreed.
Oh no. Okay. I
All
still got
right.
some time, I think.
You think you do?
I hope I do.
All right.
All right. Yeah.
For all the marbles.
On reflexes. Oh.
Forgive me.
Oh.
This little thief.
First KO. All right. Time Walker, the support, Timey, Samurai.
Ooh. Supporting
she can go where
Samurai.
she pleases. With her
She
teleport.
knows where she wants.
She's got some control with her time magics. And a little bit of backup Beato. I forgot you actually went with the other gyms. Alright.
Yeah, I probably could have like focus fired, but I'll be honest with you, my memory is not what it used to be.
Alright, so Sentinel is like... Oh man, Sentinel's really prevent me from getting to your side, so I wanted to do this for now.
Yeah, that will work. That was a really strong hit.
Out on the bridge.
Man, nice job. Is no one gonna do anything about the healer? Man, for a DPS, she is quite sturdy. 52% chance to hit, only 40 HP, and I'm risking a disable from Nature's Wrath. It's pretty rough.
Oh, you should definitely risk it.
I think not.
Go for it. See what happens.
What?
Roll the dice.
What? Oof, RNGesus, please. Be kind. What was I gonna say? Shoot.
I think he was leading up with a question, but not sure what the question was. What is something? Not sure.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Wow.
Oh, wow. Okay. Cleric coming in hot.
Class
Scary.
evasion coming in strong. Hold on. Okay, yeah. Class evasion 5%, 8% on the staff. Dang, man. Gee.
That was pretty sick.
Well done, that was. Alright, this might be a little brutal. Oof.
Just a little pinch.
It's not bad for a support.
Alright, so it's not enough, sadly. Let's see, let's try this then.
Man, things were looking okay for just... Wow, that was fast. Things were looking okay for me for a moment, and now they're on a downhill trajectory.
You got this.
I can't believe you parried that, man.
Yeah, that would have been a KO otherwise. Protect shell fell off, so I'm taking more damage now. Moment to strike.
Indeed. That dancer, though.
Yeah, you can't really get too deep in either. Thankfully, I think it's what's first thing goes to Mystic. Oh. Okay. Alright.
She's got a little range. She can jump.
Oh man. Alright, so let's go and attempt this.
Ooh. I do not like those odds, but I got a good feeling about this. I think you're gonna be okay.
Alright, now Sally is gonna knock your Samurai out, or Time Walker out. Confusion.
Okay.
You did get that. It's never good.
Alright. Uh-oh.
Oh, speaking of which, the magic boost proc that you all seen, including Fury, they also have buffs from the PvP patch, so they now grant 2 magic or 2 power, respectively, from where in vanilla they were only 1. Also, one other important note between the two, including bravery boost and faith boost, is that they are all now assigned to both male and female units. So they were gender locked originally between Bard and Dancer, like where you can learn them. But now you can have them on any unit.
Oh,
that's
nice raise.
good.
That's a good raise right there. This may be crappy.
I got 1. Got 2. Wow. All right. Got 3.
You get 3. That's all right with me.
Yippee! All right.
We're all having a good time.
Oh yeah.
Ugh. I'll be back for you.
I'll
figure something out.
The level 1 black magics and white magic are pure. They're all single target and insta cast now. So that's why I was able to throw that blizzard so quick. Yeah, that 3 for 3 immobilized was pretty
That
rough.
was a little brutal. 2, 3, 4. Okay. The hell out of dodge. There we go.
Oh, okay. I thought that was Sindel. Like, geez, turn 1 jump.
That would have been nice.
Good, do I get the act before the jump?
You can't move.
I can't move. However, I think I have an option still. Unless you decide to end that option. What? Oh man, okay.
Were you thinking you're gonna parry again?
Oh no, that's not good. That's
okay,
not
things
good.
have swung back in my general direction.
All right, so. Oh man. All right, I'll only have 1 good play I can make here. We're gonna do it.
Dang, we're on Act 29 as well. Yep. We're getting down to the wire here.
I'm gonna use Regen to survive this hit, knowing that I'm locked.
Ooh, you are crafty. I'll give you that.
Then I'm gonna see if this will actually reach. It does, actually. Okay. Oh man. Okay. Oh man. I'm gonna change it up a little bit.
Oh god.
50% chance. Coin flip. Oh no.
Oh, okay. So not totally brutal right off the bat, but I can see you stacking that, yeah,
yes.
and it being a real pain.
Yep. So region and poison both. Oh, there we go. Region and poison both
that's
have
what I get.
increased damage and healing now, which is why I went for the region play there to get enough HP to survive the jump.
Good
But also, the units in pre-mades and as well as starter, the generic units all have 60 bravery and 60 faith. So even if I was going to go for that trepidation, I had to do at least 2 to actually chicken out that thief.
Right.
But I am still kind of like in a really weird spot right now.
So real quick. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna let you think about your next move. And
Oh, you good? I already planned in advance. See what this lands.
I just have to fulfill the prophecy now.
Not good. Not good.
No procs. So I noticed that Armiger didn't have a sidebar. It was just fundaments. Is there a reason for that?
Yes.
And also,
so
he has equipped shields.
Yes. So some of the builds have like redundant slots just to like put something in there. It's, you know, it might kind of sound a little silly, but it's mostly just because once again the builds are limited in scope. They're usually built for some. Wow, Mikey, come on.
I was really upset about that last
Oh,
parry. I was like, enough is enough.
But yeah, Armiger. Well, the Squire.
Nice.
And you got the slow. Jeez, come on.
I have been on fire with these procs tonight.
Yes, you have.
I mean, I'm wasting them all here on this demo instead of like saving them for the next tournament.
I don't.
But we won't talk about my performance. We won't talk about the performance last tournament.
Oh, no,
we need to host another one.
I think what you had was good. I think what you had was good.
Thanks,
maybe some issues in the execution, but I think what you had was fundamentally good at score. Without going too much into it.
We'll save that chat for another time. But did you not have that blind at like 80-something%?
It was 78, but still, I'm not. The RNG roll is not in favor for me today. Which it happens.
It is not. I mean, I'm not saying that it's not in favor for you. It's just very much in favor for me.
I was definitely in favor for you right now.
Yeah, it loves me.
Oh wait! Oh crap! I should have moved.
Oh yes.
I shouldn't have moved. Nature's Wrath? No.
No. That would have been actually really good. The disable would have been excellent.
Yeah.
Nice, dude. The Blizaja. Oh yeah, closing us out.
GG here. Either way, we're on the last act. Even if you miss, it doesn't matter.
Oh, you're right. It is. Wow, that took us right to the end.
Right at the end.
So clean. GG. Good game. Man, that was cool.
Yeah.
I know you're on a little bit of a time constraint tonight, and I understand you are, of course, 3 hours ahead. Do you happen to have time for one more?
Yeah, of course. Let's do it.
Excellent. I love that.
Control B, my way to victory.
And this gives us a chance to play with another suite of characters. Mm-hmm. And I believe they're enough even to do... Like, we can play the other half, basically, of the roster. Yeah?
They're 20. For discounting the... Yeah, well... It's Ramza, Delita, Beowulf, Cloud... Yeah, they're 20. No, it's 19. 19, never mind.
19, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, there's enough generics, I think, to actually cycle out completely. Using a totally different squad.
Could you not add one?
No, so what it should be Ramza, Delita, Beowulf, Cloud, and Balthier. And I think after that, cause I think the party roster's capped at 24, so there should be 19 pre-mades.
I thought it was 25. Am I tripping?
You might be tripping. Yeah, it'd be like
that's possible. That is possible. Okay.
Yeah. So one count. Yeah, it's 24. Yep.
Tell you what, I will be the cheater, and I will bring G Ramza, and for whatchamacallit? Oh yeah, let me host. hosting now. I'll be Ramza, and then 4 dudes, and then you could be the other 5 generics that we didn't play.
Sure.
And that will, like, show everyone everything that we've got. And I also want to emphasize that the Tactics League pre-made, I would like to think of as a guiding light. If you and a friend want to play, I would honestly suggest creating a pre-made roster first and playing with your friend that you want to, you know, get involved with, like creating your own mini meta, as it were, and unless you just want to jump right into the Tactics League version. But I highly encourage considering creating your own save file with custom characters like this that are crafted so that you can have battles that are balanced and you can get into the multiplayer experience a lot faster. And it'll feel better than if you just came at it and one of you is way further along in the game than the other person and it's just going to dominate. That's not going to be fun. It's going to feel bad. There's co-op after all, but highly recommend pre-mades as a format to get your feet wet with. Okay, without further ado, Yosh, please pick two of your troops.
Okay, so we're doing the 2-1-2, right? Again?
2 and 2, yep.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Armiger and Berserker this time.
Cool. So Armiger was our Squire, and Berserker is our Geomancer with a double-handed axe. Oh boy.
Yes, sir, correct.
Okay, heavy melee, I like it. In that case, I'm gonna go with Shadow, and and let's go Bouncer. I like her vibes. What is she? Martial arts, arts of war, soulbind. Oof. She sounds sturdy.
Pretty sturdy. Sturdy indeed.
Sturdy
I'm gonna
enough.
go with for my tank. I'm gonna go with Paladin this time.
Okay. Excellent.
And...
Wow, Lordly Robe and Durandal. Protect, Shell, Faith.
Yes, sir. And it's a pretty good barrier in spot heal if I need it as well.
Nice with the white magics. Yeah.
And then I think I'm gonna end it with Stalwart, the Bard.
Oh, Stalwart, the spoony bard with a gun.
Oh yeah.
You know his attack power is 74.
It is. It is actually. There's actually something kind of funny about that. So I hadn't noted that I needed to reduce it because of the Bard, like the base multiplier in Bard got increased a while back. However, also noticed that because of that and because of the way the build is designed, he doesn't use PA anyways except for his Martial. So it actually makes Chakra feel like a really nice heal, but he's got to be up close for it. And it also makes his revive like 100%, which, I mean, it was going to be 100% regardless, even from what it was originally. So. But yeah, I know a lot of people were like, dude, you realize this guy has like 74 PA? Like, yeah, I know.
Did we use all of the support, or is just Time Walker left?
So I did Cleric. I think I did Cleric and Distractor last, so I need to use...
Oh, I used Time Walker.
Yeah, you used Apothecary and Time Walker, if I'm mistaken.
That's right. Okay, very good. So my turn, yeah?
Yes. I think I'm just missing one, but you go first.
I get Guardian, another tank, and Ramza, I guess.
Yep. Word up. That just leaves me with one support left. Was gonna have to be like a reuse support at this point.
I think we still have Zen and Sorcerer.
Oh, true. You want me to do 3 damage dealers this time?
Yeah, that works.
Okay. If that's the case, I'm gonna go with Zen then.
Ooh, Sorcerer it is for me.
All right.
Good luck, have fun.
Good luck, have fun. Actually, I was playing against Wingman earlier. We did a couple pre-made games, and there
Heck
was
yeah.
some pretty funny Zen shenanigans going on towards the end. I honestly wish I recorded it. That Sage Ring was coming in
Nice.
hot.
Okay. Thank you for the reminder.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's also a reminder for you as well.
Oof. This belch brought to you by Zero Sugar Ginger Ale. Oh boy.
Shadow's one of the fastest units, as predicted. He's a ninja after all. One cool thing
14
about him.
speed, and he's one of the fastest. You know how much I love that?
I think speed is like, I think he is like up there. Lancer is either 14 or 13, but either way, I think it doesn't go any higher than 14. Yeah, Lancer's 14 too. So yeah, it should be between Shadow, Lancer, and I think Time Walker are the fastest units in the pre-made roster.
Oh man, I love this guy's build. He's got martial arts, but he only has Doomfist, Pummel, and I think Aura Blast, was it?
Yes.
So like none of the healing stuff, but like just like assassinate kind of skills.
Mm-hmm.
Like some way to like either like assassinate tanks with Doomfist or like finish somebody off, but you're rolling the dice with Pummel. Of course, you can always just use melee attack, but you know sometimes in a pinch, like Pummel does unmitigated damage, right?
Pummel does mitigate it, or can deal mitigated damage, but it can roll high depending on, you know, where your power and stuff. So there's times where it can roll really low, but there's also times it can roll really high and potentially like KO somebody in one go, or maybe two goes. It's definitely one of those things that's like, I probably wouldn't pummel as much on Shadow, especially because he is dual wielding. You'll get the most bang for your buck typically through dual wield. And also don't forget about throw, especially with this map, because there's some range, so getting some early chip damage is definitely nice too. But I could definitely see like pummel being pretty good for potentially trying to high roll on a tank.
Nice. Now Bouncer here. I mean, it looks like she has some. It looks like she has a lot of bulk, but her like martial arts. Should I be expecting a lot of damage from Cyclone, or good healing from Chakra?
Damage. Pretty decent damage. Pretty decent healing. You know, she is a tank, so you can't expect it to be like higher than a support from the Chakra line. But her Cyclone and I think she has Shockwave. Yes, she does. That's right. Actually, should be like, you know, okay-ish damage. Yeah, 114.
It was okay-ish.
Yeah. Her biggest highlight is that she has a lot of bulk. She has pretty high, I'd say fairly high sustain through like Soulbind defense boost, and then also you do have some recovery through Martial as well.
So we have Sortilege that gives Protect and Shell, and defense boost.
Yep, she's a defense
and life font.
Yep, she's a physically defensive tank. Or the best way to explain it. So if your opponent's running a lot of physical damage dealers, I mean, honestly, I'm running 2, so she's going to be tough to beat. I might have to end up using status to really get rid of her. It's probably going to end up being the play. Because otherwise I'm going to have a tough time.
Okay. That makes sense. Oh no, wrong one! It's supposed to be praise. Praise, not preach. So be it.
Well, Sorcerer, very frail, but very strong, especially if you combo it right. So be super careful with her because she doesn't have Windows stats 292 isn't anything. She doesn't have mana shield either. She does have innate mana font because she's a black mage, but the biggest thing with Sorcerer is like, I would say is utilize summon and send and drone cast. And drone cast just basically means attach a summon on a friendly and have them like run in later to bomb your opponent. Or if you could time it right based on CT, you use her thunder spells because those thunder spells hurt. And the higher you go, especially going like Thundaga, the harder it hit. So
Yep.
really mess somebody up very quick with that.
So, very much the opposite of starter format and meta. Not everyone comes with Protect and Shell right off the bat.
Correct. Most units do not. So you do have to lean on. I think there's 4 or 5 of the premium builds that have access to either Barrier or Kikomori, which is Protect and Shell. But even then, you could even still play without it. Even we noticed earlier that game when I did that ZEROTIER, like ZEROTIER is like the strongest, ice magic, and it still wasn't enough to kill people outright. Like it wasn't enough
Sure.
in one shot. Even earlier when I was playing against Wingman, he actually forgot to bring a unit with Protect Shell, and he still won. So it's definitely doable.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, got it. Yeah. I mean,
something you want. It's definitely it's not an afterthought. Protect Shell is very vital statuses, especially with starter. But it's definitely something you could kind of overlook, even if you did on accident and pre-made. You probably get away with it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I am not getting away with throwing a shuriken at your bard.
That is tri-section.
Oh.
I got tri-section playing on as well.
That's funny.
I like to say, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that's like one of your favorite battle musics.
Oh, I love tri-section, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, no counter throw. Love it.
Alright, so I'm gonna hop up here.
I gotta say, one of the better quality of life's additions, ouch, was YoshnJa changed the melee battle music. The fight music is now more intense instead of the like airy and ethereal Mandalia Plains music. Oh, come on. Nice shot. That's what I mean to say is nice shot, but internally it's like, really? I got that coin flip. What happened to my RNG?
What is RNG?
Oh, nice. What is it really?
It's a thing that is very favorable one game and not the next.
I was thinking of drone casting on the ninja, but I was like, nah, my ninja won't be able to reach anyone. And then once you went up there, I was like, I regret everything. What have I done?
Yeah, I wouldn't have probably charged in like I did. That was the case.
You did the right thing.
Remnants. Okay. I do remember Remnants, Unc. Sadly, the only so when I changed the music, there's only four slots essentially, without going too technical. Because the music in PvP is completely derived of the random encounter music you see in the overworld. So I try to go with the ones that I know are the most popular out of the bunch. I do remember Remnants though, and I might end up maybe swapping one out at a later point. Wrong button.
Yeah, just have a whole jukebox, man.
I mean, honestly, I wish I could just do a whole, or at least 8 or something like that. But the slots are limited, so I can only do 4.
Paha. So, I mean, it'd be cool if you could wire it so it's press this button and you can skip through the tracks.
Honestly, I think that would be really cool if I can actually add an option when you're in the menu configuration for the game, like the time limit and stuff. If there's an option to set the soundtrack directly.
Sorry, I died real quick because that just blew my mind. That was brilliant.
I would love to be able to do something like that. Now that's with mods, everything's the limit, or the sky's the limit, more or less.
Everything is the limit.
I mean, and that's entirely inaccurate.
Yeah.
One thing about it though is the PSP scene in terms of the mod is modding it is still a lot of it's still a mystery.
It's the Wild West.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, you should feel really good about that.
Shabby.
I missed how much mincing minion or Life's Anthem was healing for. 160?
It should be about one. Yeah, it should be like $150 or $160 on Stalwart. Oh, almost did the wrong thing there.
But he also has performing arts, so that's gonna be nice shot.
Okay. Yeah, it does have performing arts, so yeah, it does have the extra bonuses on the power increase and also the hit rate increase as well.
Man, that fly came in handy.
Oh, it did. I think you should only be able to hit me there with Ramza, if I'm not mistaken. With Sanguine.
I look forward to it. Let's see. Not as good. Ooh.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Well done.
Now I'm getting all the RNG rolls.
Good for you. It's fine.
That's one thing
fine.
about I've noticed too is the RNG rolls it definitely can go one side to another. Oh, turn one, I'll take it.
It's all yours.
Some games it's really bad, and the next it's super favorable.
Sure. I think the computer decides ahead of time, oh, I don't like this guy.
He won one. You should get the other now.
You know, I really gave it to that other guy. I feel bad for him. That's what I imagine.
It definitely happens, but I've noticed just between playing and spectating, the RNG definitely it tends to balance itself out, especially in a match where we have a best of 3. One player will have crazy RNG, crits, procs, dodging, parrying, even parrying at high percentages earlier with the White Mage. Then the next they'll have barely
That's totally normal.
Any luck. Yeah. Oh, the counter throw. It missed. Or you couldn't hit because you're
nice.
Too low. Oh man.
It's just it's good to know that it went off. That's the moral victory.
For sure.
So, the other thing about the starter format is it's there's so many skills that will never be used because of all of the, meta-defined defensive measures that we are taking to mitigate that. Sleep. When is Sleep Shot ever going to work against anyone in starter? There's just so much sleep defense, blind or Grand Helm guards against and has some of the best HP out of all the male helms. It's pretty standard for anyone that wears heavy armor to take Grand Helm.
Yeah.
There are a couple other popular, of course, Ribbon and what have you, but I think even some of the undead gear guards against sleep.
Some it does. I think. Oh, I'll definitely take that proc. That's so
nice.
binary.
Everything's great. Everything's fine.
The cursed armor has a sleep immunity on it, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe that's it. Yep. So yeah, I feel like sleep is one of those debuffs that you should just try your best to mitigate. Stop is another one. Anything that just pins you in place and makes you extremely vulnerable is terrible.
Yeah. And those statuses are definitely a part of the ecosystem in terms of counterattacking or being offensive or defensive means. You definitely do not sleep on any of the statuses. They're all equally, well, I wouldn't necessarily say equally, but they're all fairly strong in their own merits. Blind, we don't see blind much, but blind causes not only if you're trying to attack somebody, they have increased evasion against you, but also now it makes it to where you can't dodge anything. Every attack against you is 100% when it comes to a available attack. So like that can be really busted, especially when you are building towards using how to put it, when you're using like a lot of like proc heavy weapons.
Sure. Yep.
Actually, you know what? In fact, I think now will be the time to do that, so I can go on the setup on you real quick.
Holy God.
Yeah, we don't see this one much. Actually, I really like the effect and the animation of this.
That is dope.
Ankh asks, what was the idea behind the curse gear? I don't recall those being a thing in the original version, unless I'm wrong. Yes, the curse gear outside of Curse Ring. I forgot you berserked my guy. Yeah,
I was so tired of his
Ring,
shenanigans.
outside of Curse Ring, the Cursed Armor, Cursed Robe, Cursed Shield. I think that's all right, Mikey? For now?
Cursed Robe, Cursed Shield, Cursed Armor. There's Cursed Ring, but I think that was already in the game.
That was definitely in the game already. Those were added to add the... Oh, nice crit. That's a killer. Those were added to be able to set up the possibility of building towards a undead-based comp. Because there were some changes to undead. Oh, the Cursed Helmet. Yeah, that's what it was.
Cursed Helmet, yep.
Yeah. So there were some changes to undead that originally, in the early days of the PvP patch, the being undead would be guaranteed revival. Like once your timer ran out, you always would revive. Because I think in vanilla it was a 50% chance to revive, or you would just crystallize or disappear. That was at some point, because of the way undead in the curse gear was designed, it tend to be a little bit more positive affecting than it was with its drawbacks. So that got changed around to where it's now has the 50% chance again to potentially revive or not, or you'll just disappear. But the undead still has the merits of like, I can now absorb sanguine damage, or like any like beneficial damage I can actually take now. Still, I can be hurt by like Phoenix Down or Elixir, things of that sort. Good.
Yeah, I find the undead gear to be interesting. It's definitely like kind of a wild card play.
Yeah.
Oh, nice! Wow, Ren power. That's more than what I accumulated from shouting. So I have a sore throat for absolutely nothing now.
Okay. So I'm going to go for poison here, just because these are tanks. So poison does more damage against higher health. And since these guys are tanks, I'm gonna try to just put more pressure on Mikey's units.
It does more like flat damage, right? Like
yes,
it's always 25%.
Yes, correct. It's 25% of your max health. And so the bulkier you are, the more it hurts. That's ideally what I'm trying to play off.
And I think that just should be how poison works. In general.
Definitely another, I wouldn't say fully sleeper, because Base of Toxico is definitely up there. Nowadays, it's a very potent ability. Inflicting oil and poison hurts a lot.
Because poison, because of the residual damage, but oil.
Yes,
does
oil got
extra.
Changed.
Yeah. So tell us about oil.
Oil originally it would double the next fire-based attack you would take, but now oil actually doubles the next elemental damage you take, other than holy and dark. So it buffs against wind, earth, water, lightning, ice. I think I said them all. Might miss one, but it buffs against all those types of elements instead of just fire now. So oil is a little bit more of like a elemental weakness, if you will, now. Whereas actually that's pretty much exactly what it is, because I believe elemental weakness is double damage. So oil effectively inflicts a weakness on you while you're affected by it. So oil can now be used as a way of taking advantage of different elemental archetypes and building a team where you're like using like black magics or even geomancy, because a lot of the geomancy is elemental too. So you can use that to do like extra damage and cripple your opponent even faster. Oh, look at that.
Solved.
Solved.
But not for me.
All right.
Shadow, no!
I gotta do something about this. We're already like in the 35th act too. Crazy.
I know. Time flies.
Yeah, it does.
This one was much more of a bloodbath than the last one. I mean, don't get me wrong, the last one was a bloodbath, but like...
Just enough.
I feel like we really got after in this one.
Yeah, oil and LE guns, definitely not something to sleep on. Completely, you can pretty much completely nuke somebody, especially, I know you've been doing the faith-based, like, set like gun casting stuff now lately, Ankh. So yeah, like having somebody with like a gun and then running aim and then using baso early and then just like capitalizing on the next shot, that's just pretty much going to murder somebody. Alright, I can't... Oh, jeez, that's only 80 damage. That's some really heavy mitigation there. But it's work.
That looks fine. Whatever it was you're doing.
YoshnJa.
That's the one.
Yep. Sages, or aka what used to be the arithmeticians, they don't have arithmetics anymore. They have what's called job magic, which, for those of you who remember, I can't remember the boss. Mike, you might remember the boss in the story that had it. Well, one of them had it, but anyways, it's essentially that skill set.
The winged dude.
Yeah, I think it was Valeria. It's essentially its skill set that's been given to what is now called Sage.
My preference to the arithmetician.
Yes.
That's what the arithmetician should have been. What they gave us was just silly.
Yeah, you can definitely do a lot of stuff with that.
Hit this guy.
Okay. Just gonna burn
This guy. He knows what's up.
Oh yeah. All right.
All right. GG.
Close this out here. GG.
Cool.
I don't think this is enough, but we'll go for it anyways.
Yeah, you can just swing at the air.
That's enough. All right, that works.
Yeah, that's right, Donk. Oil would have. I mean, GG. Oil is to me like a win more when you're combining with elemental stuff. Like, it's another layer of preparation, right? Like, you want the elemental boost, you want the faith, you want your target to have faith, you don't want your target to have shell, you want your target to have a weakness against, and then you want oil. So it's like, it's a lot of these compounding things, but yeah, like, it does help, right? It's like, okay, I can't get rid of shell, but I can apply oil. I can't add a weakness to this element, but I can add oil. So,
I like to say
its uses.
I like to say that you could, because I know with mag guns, it's very like there's a lot of like specking into it for it to shine. But I don't remember the exact numbers, but I think if you just run a mag gun with faith, and then you use oil, like you shoot an oil target, it's like almost just as good as running boost at that point. Actually, it's better than boost, just because it's double damage. So like you could actually take one part of that out entirely, just spec towards getting oil out if you can, and it'd be maybe even potentially stronger if we're talking about like how much damage you can deal. Keep that in mind as well.
I want everyone to keep in mind how much fun we had playing these pre-mades. Yosh, I think it's time to sign off for the both of us. I have a cat to feed, and I have my own stomach to feed. I'm getting pretty hungry here. So yes, good. Yosh, thank you so much for joining me tonight and explaining this amazing format. I had a great time, and it really is just such a relief to not have to think about like building a roster and like analyzing how the roster did in that match and try and like make changes and tweaks just so I could do better in the next one. Sometimes you just want to get a casual game in, and Premades fulfills that like on 100,000%. So thank you, Yosh. Really appreciate the explainer. And I'm gonna say thank you to those who stopped by. Well, not many people. Pyramid of Ankh, I know who you are. Orly Fools, and Snowvase. Thank you guys for stopping by and throwing some words out in the chat. I will see everyone next time, and until then, be well, everyone.